We're going to go ahead and get started with our discussion. As Bernard mentioned, my name is Jonathan Jones. It is my privilege to be your host and moderator for this afternoon's discussion. Today is Sunday, and it's September the 7th, 2025. And it has been declared World Alzheimer's Day. So there's Alzheimer's months. Excuse me, World Alzheimer's Month. And I think the 21st of this month is National Alzheimer's Day or something. So whatever the case, we're focusing in on this topic of Alzheimer's because it is affecting quite a number of people. And we're very fortunate that Dr. Prasad has done a great deal of research on this subject, and he's presented this information. We can't do the same kind of a deep dive that Dr. Prasad is accustomed to because he's presented this on the world stage to scientists, to professors, to doctors. So he can't go into the full extent of what he's done on the world stage, but we've taken snapshots of his information and kind of narrowed it down into a few little pieces that we all can benefit from. And so we're hoping that you'll be able to get something out of this. And then we're hoping that you also will be motivated to go ahead and make a phone call and get someone else access to this information now while it's live. If we can, we're going to take some questions toward the end of our discussion. So we're hoping that that will be the case. But once again, we really can't guarantee, because you know how that goes, especially, considering Dr. Prasad and his condition right now. So, and again, we're excited that he's here. Before we introduce Dr. Prasad, I do want to give you guys our disclaimer, because we have to do the disclaimer. It's necessary. And we're going to share with you one testimonial that kind of lays the foundation for the kinds of problems that people can have. So you see the disclaimer there. The FDA does not evaluate these statements. Testimonials that you hear are anecdotal. Results are atypical. And that means that what happens to one person may or may not happen to you. Neither the Healthcare Support Association of America, Engage Global, the micronutrient company, Dr. Prasad, Jonathan Jones, or any of the authorized representatives are making any claims that any of the supplements that we recommend will treat or cure any disease state. This presentation is for information, educational purposes only. It is not intended to be a substitute for a visit to your doctor. We strongly recommend that you seek the competent medical advice of professionals that you trust. And we cannot emphasize that enough. It's for education and information purposes only. That having been said, we strongly recommend too that you take this information into consideration when making decisions about your health and well-being, because I guarantee you that the information can play a vital role in supplying the vital nutrients that your body needs. Here's an interesting story that may demonstrate to you that formulas that might be considered just multivitamins by some people can have significant neurological impact on some people. So let's see if we can get this particular story to play for you all now.
Years ago, she was so sick. I didn't know what to think. I thought she was leaving here. And when I reached out to her on behalf of someone else's loss, she sounds so good, and she started telling me about the products. When I spoke with her, I was so impressed, and I couldn't sleep. But when I started taking the products, I noticed with taking the hydro, I had so much energy. I felt so much better. And for me, in 2020, I had a stroke. I wasn't able to work. I had so much brain fog. Anytime I drove, I would get lost. I would have to have people to help me in the conversation so that I would know exactly where I was in the conversation. But now we're taking the brain boost, the hydro, the eye products. I am so excited. I can speak to anyone, hold conversation. I can go any place I want to. I'm loving what God has put before us. Knowledge and wisdom that God has given man to bless us to have these products. I'm thankful for every testimony. I'm thankful for how good Beth looks, how she feels, and how she's caring about other people so that they can feel as good as she does. And I'm telling you, previously, months ago, I couldn't have a conversation like this. I would not know where I was in the conversation. I constantly had to call my husband and tell him I'm lost, I'm out, I'm lost. I don't know where I'm at. And this is places that I've driven for years. I even Googled one time how to put my wedding rings on. I forgot how to put them on. I'm so thankful, Jeff. Thank you so much for all that you've done. Thankful for this opportunity to share with other people that need to hear that God has something that will bless our health. Thanks, Beth.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, I would have to say I agree with that one, Jeff. That is pretty amazing story. But again, I don't know exactly what her diagnosis was, to be honest with you folks. But I think I asked Dr. Prasad about that once, and it was pretty clear that she might have been in the early stages of dementia or something. But there was some neurological issues that the correct micronutrients had a clear impact. You notice that the theme of this particular part of our presentation centers around a new published paper by Dr. Prasad. He published this paper, I think, about a year or so ago. And again, he's been doing lectures on this on the world stage, specifically about the combination. And if you look at the combination of nutrients he's recommending there, it should look very familiar to you. A lot of it centers around something that Engage Global refers to as the core four. But you'll also see something else in the title there, cannabidiol. Cannabidiol. So you'll learn a little bit about that because Dr. Prasad put together or determined that the most effective component from that is a CBD isolate. So he'll talk a little bit about that later in our discussion as well. And as you can see, diet can play a role in this. And so we can look forward to Dr. Prasad telling us a little bit about that and how that could be the case. So I'm going to introduce to our discussion now Dr. Kedar Prasad. And Dr. Prasad is the world's first radiation biology PhD, the first in the world. His products have been awarded, it's more than 10 US patents. I think we're up to about 12 now with Dr. Prasad's formulas. The Congress awarded $12.5 million toward his research in connection with the military. The original formula that Dr. Prasad produced was called MMF, or Military Micronutrient Formula. I heard a gentleman who had direct contact with members of the Special Forces, and he asked them what was that packet that they had in their pockets. He said that was the first time he'd ever seen this because he now is also using Micro Daily. And I showed him and handed him one of the original packages. He says, I've seen this before. But I heard him saying this to a group about a week or so ago, to those people that he had seen that directly in the possession of the Special Forces. And they told him that they were provided that as a nutrition that could keep them alive in case they didn't have access to any food. And I was kind of blown away to hear him say that. He says, I think you can, he said he thought that you could just maybe stay alive about 3 days. He said, but they told him that they believed that they could stay alive 30 days just on that particular formula. And this is what the Congress had financially backed Dr. Prasad to produce. So I was a little bit blown away to hear that in real time from someone who actually was there and saw some members of the military using this formula that Dr. Prasad had put together. So that was kind of interesting to me. Under credentials, you'll see that he was a professor at University of Colorado School of Medicine for some 30 years, director of vitamin research and the vitamin and cancer research. And his list of accolades goes on and on and on. But one that stands out is that he was invited to be a member of the Nobel Peace Prize nominating committee for candidates in the category of medicine. He's authored more than 33 books, been published more than 250 times, in peer-reviewed publications. If you go to PubMed right now, you could find more than 450 references to Dr. Prasad's work. So we are quite fortunate to have at our disposal now this gentleman, Dr. Kedar Prasad. So Dr. Prasad, once again, sir, thank you very much for joining us and welcome to our discussion. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, and I always enjoy being with you and engaged family. And I'm feeling much better enough to participate in this meeting. As you can see, that still I have this collar, but I have very little pain in my except discomfort of this around collar, around the neck.
Yes. Well, you look good. We're sorry that you had the fall, but glad that you're recovering.
Yeah.
So it sounds to me, and from my conversation with you, that that fall didn't affect your brain at all.
No, I think I was because it's mostly neck. The surgeon tested all my mental status, asked many questions, and I answered right after the injury. So they said, you are okay mentally.
It's going to take a little bit more than a fall to knock out the gray matter you got going on up there, sir. So that's going to take a minute. Yeah. But thank you so much for joining us. So look, what I'm going to do then, I pulled out some portions of your paper and your slides.
Sure.
And pretty much, Dr. Prasad, whatever you would like to say with respect to these slides, you can feel free to do that. And we're excited to hear about this research that you've done and the impact that your formulas can have on micronutrients.
Yeah.
On Alzheimer's disease, that is.
Yeah.
So I pulled out there. Go ahead, sir. Anything you'd like to say?
No, I mean, you can see that 80% of dementia is associated with AD. Despite extensive research, the incidence of AD is increasing. In 2021, 500,000 new cases were diagnosed, and 6.2 million Americans were living or suffering from this disease. The cost of treatment of this disease was $355 billion. Except for modification in the diet and lifestyle, there was no biological preventive ideas at this moment. And the effectiveness of current drug therapy lasts for an average of 3 months. The question is whether it is possible to reduce the risk of AD and prolong the effectiveness of its current treatment. My research suggests that it is possible to achieve this.
Wow. So everyone, it's kind of clear here then when Dr. Prasad is saying AD, of course, that's the Alzheimer's disease that's mentioned there. So that's quite expensive, Dr. Prasad. That's pretty costly.
Yeah, it is. It is because, you don't die, even though it is sixth leading cause of death, but you take a long time and you suffer. And so it is very important that we handle this. And the major contributor of this disease includes increased oxidative stress. We all know that. Excessive production of free radical, chronic inflammation, mitochondrial dysfunction, and DNA cannot repair its damage, and other cellular damage that you may not be interested, but also it impairs immune function. But the most important thing that is very relevant to Alzheimer's disease is loss of collagen. Collagen, 30% of your total body protein is collagen. And one of the main functions of collagen is to maintain a structural integrity and function of all organs, including brain. So if you lose collagen, that means your brain will shrink, and also you have a dementia or cognitive dysfunction.
So it's possible then, Dr. Prasad, that what the woman was describing earlier, that was a loss of collagen?
Loss of collagen is one of them. Also increased oxidative stress, inflammation, loss of collagen, as well as intestinal dysbiosis. She must have also intestinal dysbiosis. Intestinal dysbiosis is so important. And And you can, this is just the definition of oxidative stress. When the body produces excessive amount of free radical that overwhelm our antioxidant defense system, oxidative stress, which are very damaging to all cells, occurs. Same way, oxidative stress induces inflammation. When the damage produced by free radical is not fully repaired, chronic inflammation, which produces some toxic chemical such as pro-inflammatory cytokine, complement protein, adhesion molecules, and free radicals, all of them are toxic, they occur.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So once again, oxidative stress is the culprit, and free radicals started the whole process.
Whole process, exactly. Then there are some unique thing that happens in case of Alzheimer's disease that increase production of beta amyloid. And the reason increased production of beta amyloid, which is supposed to be main causes of Alzheimer's disease, the increased production of beta amyloid played an important role in the development of Alzheimer's disease. So how it happens? Oxidative stress increases the production of amyloid by enhancing the activity of gamma enzyme, gamma secretase. And gamma secretase will cleave the larger protein called amyloid precursor protein into beta amyloid. In other words, oxidative stress will increase this enzyme called gamma secretase, and therefore gamma secretase will breaks big molecule amyloid precursor protein into a smaller one called beta amyloid. So
Wow.
it's very important that here again, increased oxidative stress plays a role in developing or in producing increased level of beta amyloid, which are considered the main causes of the Alzheimer's disease. And
I
second,
remember
you go ahead.
I just remember one day Dr. Nakuzi giving me a call and said that something similar, that this beta amyloids was the root of this Alzheimer issue, and it's not detoxified from the brain fast enough. Now, this causes a problem with certain neurons in the brain.
Yes, because what happened, beta amyloid is accumulate, they forms what you call a plaque outside the neuron, and they also formed inside called there's another plaque inside the neuron,
Ooh.
and that mess up the neuronal function. So beta amyloid plays a central role, but last stage of beta amyloid by which they kill neuron is production of again free radicals.
Mm.
So you can block production of beta amyloid by the antioxidant,
Mm-hmm.
and even as late stage, you can block the toxic effect of amyloid on neuron because they
Mm.
are mediated by free radicals. And
That's
so
that's pretty amazing, Dr. Prasad. And is it possible to potentially recover some of the use of those neurons once you block them?
yeah, exactly. Yes, then the neuron won't be dying. And so then you will not have at least you will reduce the severity of cognitive dysfunction. And it is so important. Then another very crucial one is hyperphosphorylation of tau protein. Again, they are also related to oxidative damage. And so increased oxidative stress plays really a central role. And if you can attenuate them, then suppose if you use a appropriate type of our formulation, say micronutrient that we have, EMF, that will reduce oxidative stress. That means now you have decreased activity of gamma secretase, which was making the large amount of beta amyloid. So now they can make it because you reduce that particular enzyme. So right there, you said, okay, you can do it. And so now you are not producing enough amyloid. But suppose there are already amyloid formed, then you said you block the free radical last phase by which they cause damage, then you prevent.
That's impressive.
That's
That's pretty impressive.
It's very impressive in terms of reducing the risk of Alzheimer's disease.
Yeah, but it also sounds like, and we have one testimonial here we want to play. We played this one before,
Sure.
but because there's some new people here, I think it merits hearing it again.
Sure.
But this kind of illustrates what you said, that someone who has even had Alzheimer's for a long time,
yes,
can get some benefits from it. So not only are we doing it for prevention, because I take it because I don't want Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
So I stay all over your formulas. I got them all over my desk right now. And my hardest problem is remembering which ones I took already. But because I feel confident that it won't hurt me, I'll just take them again if I'm curious about it. But this story here, for those who are here, this may help anyone who's having trouble with the technical side of what Dr. Prasad say, understand what this translates into. So listen to Michi Morris tell her mother's story. Tell us, what's the rest of your name, Michi, if you don't mind?
Morris.
Okay, Michi Morris. Well, it's nice to meet you, Michi Morris, and thank you so much for being willing to tell us whatever it is you have to tell us. So we're looking for all ears.
Yes, thank you for this opportunity, or space rather. It makes it even more special. I had no idea this is what the topic was today, Alzheimer's. I had no idea. So my husband just, was inviting me through Rob. I really don't personally know him, but I know we started with the products and the collagen. I started my mother on the collagen, I think last Tuesday is when we received it. Now, my mother has been diagnosed with the Alzheimer's for, I guess, about 10 years. So no focus. 10 years, yes. So no focus, just kind of staring. She's 86 years old. So she's just basically kind of staring. Sometimes we put on gospel music. She'll kind of move her head, that type of thing. Sometimes I'll tell her an old story about her grandmother and she may give a laugh. Other than that, no, she can still walk on her own, that type of thing. But I started the collagen on last Tuesday. And on top of that, last Thursday, she was diagnosed with COVID. And so she had a lot of mucus, yes. So she had a lot of mucus on her chest. So we received the products. I started giving her collagen in her Ensure. Because that's the only way, even her medicine, she just, she chews them. So I started putting it in her insurance, sometime in the cereal. And then the brain boost, I only gave her about 2 brain boosts because my brother is dealing with pancreatic cancer. So my first order, I wanted to send that over to him and get him going right away. So it was round about this week. I think it was around about Friday. We was taking her, on her daily walks. She had more clarity. She was pushing her walker. The neighbors was like, we haven't seen her in a while, and they was calling her name. And she stopped and turned around and waved to them.
Oh my.
And she had not done something like that in 2 or 3 years. And her foot that she was dragging, she was able to keep up with her walker. And then I think it was that Friday morning when I put her in the shower, which she has to lift her leg over the tub. And so I shared with her, I said, why don't you try and wash your face with the washcloth? And this is something she has not done in 2 or 3 years. I would have to bathe her. And just with that one prompting, she started washing her face, and she continued to wash her neck, and she continued to wash her body. And I'm like, whoa. And then when I went around to pick up and get some more soap, she had stepped out of the tub on her own, 1, 2, without falling. And I'm like, oh, whoa, wait a minute, hold up. And the only thing I noticed, and it's been different things. I've called my brother after that, and she said, "Good morning." She said, "Good morning" to him. She had not said anything like that to them in 5 years when they would call. And then last night, my husband and I was going to bed. He's online, and she goes, "Y'all, I'll see you." She has not had a sentence of 4 or 5 words like that in years. And I'm like, what is going on? Could this be? The only thing I know was the collagen I've given her for about 7, 8 days. She missed 2 days last week. And this morning I did not give it to her. I gave her the brain booster, and she only had about 3 brain boosters.
Wow.
So that's the only thing other that I've noticed I've been doing. So
I'm speechless right now, Michi Morris.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm speechless. So, Dr. Prasad, for the benefit of our audience here, help us to understand what could have happened to this woman.
This woman, for example, she has a beta amyloid, obviously. And so the last stage of beta amyloid was prevented by antioxidant that she's taking all those ingredients. And therefore, the cognitive function start functioning. And because, the beta amyloid can be there, but it is not doing the harm because you have blocked their action. And so even though beta amyloid was there, and they gradually get destroyed by their own system. But the more important thing is that in this situation, the only thing I can say that you block the last phase of the beta amyloid by which they kill neuron cell is free radicals. So she was taking all this kind of antioxidant. And of course, collagen peptide was very important because there was a study, clinical study, that in older people, when they measure that who has some kind of dementia, they did, and they found that the brain was, certain area of brain was shrinking, and they have cognitive dysfunction. And when they put on a 5 grams daily collagen peptide for 90 days, the structure was restored to original level, cognitive function markedly improved. So collagen peptide is such an important role also in terms of maintaining the cognitive function in the brain.
That's pretty impressive, Dr. Prasad. Now, your collagen peptide, the one you formulated, is unique.
Is unique because it has an inhibitor of collagenase. Because if you don't have an inhibitor of collagenase, then you just take a many place in the marketplace, you have collagen peptide, they will have some benefit, and then the enzyme is still there, they will destroy it quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So effectiveness would not last for long.
So basically, you lose it as fast as you make it. But with yours, you got the enzyme blocker
Exactly.
in there, so you keep what you make.
Right, exactly.
Okay. Well, I think that's a nice little bonus there for anybody.
Very good story, and demonstrate very strongly the function that we have core 4.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'd say that one is a real strong testament for it. She was taking the microdaily also. Now, microdaily is more focused on the free radicals.
Yes, and also the chronic inflammation, both.
And
This
chronic
is the only
inflammation.
agent. It is very important to remember. You have to reduce oxidative stress and inflammation at the same time. For example, if you take Advil or any kind of things, they reduces inflammation, but has nothing to do with oxidative stress. It is the only agent, to my knowledge, microdaily, that we have EMF, that can reduce oxidative stress and chronic inflammation at the same time.
Wow. And that's important to remember. And this also is patented now. So there's
Yes.
no other product like this one on the market. So people can say that this is just a multivitamin. They can't even say that now because this is unique.
Yeah. And unique is it because it is the only compound. See, for reduced oxidative stress and inflammation at the same time, you not only have to increase the antioxidant compound, like vitamin C, A, and so on, but you also have to increase the antioxidant enzymes, like glutathione peroxidase, catalase, or superoxide dismutase, the enzymes. And the only way you can do it, you have to activate a nuclear transcription factor, NRF2. The only way you can do it is antioxidant.
Wow.
So it does. So our antioxidant not only increase the antioxidant compound, but it also increases antioxidant all enzymes. So it is a perfect scenario to reduce oxidative stress and inflammation at the same time.
I'll tell you, folks, if you I know that maybe only a couple of percent, 10% of our audience right now got that, but let me just tell you something, folks. What that man just basically said is that you'll extend your life. We're talking the very thing that extends life is reducing oxidative stress and inflammation at the same time. And that NRF2 thing, anyway, that's a whole nother discussion in itself. So go ahead, Dr. Prasad. We also got your probiotic.
Yeah, and probiotics so important. You can't, as important, I would say, well, not maybe second most important is we call it intestinal dysbiosis. Intestinal dysbiosis means increase in the number of harmful bacteria and decline in the number of beneficial bacteria. When this happens in your gut, we call them intestinal dysbiosis. And when this happens, it happens to the all older people with or without disease. As you grow older, intestinal dysbiosis level continue to increase. What it does, it produces a lot of toxic chemicals, including
natural stuff. Then that got to be too really.
Hang on, Dr. Prasad. We got to mute some folks.
Okay.
Go ahead. You can start again.
Yeah. Intestinal dysbiosis, I mentioned, they increase the number of harmful bacteria and decline in the number of beneficial bacteria. And both bacteria exist in our gut. So when this happens, then we call them the intestinal dysbiosis. And this occurs during aging with or without disease. And in Alzheimer's disease, it becomes highly elevated. And because they produce a lot of toxic chemical that enhances the level of cognitive dysfunction. So, and how do you correct them? You take prebiotics and probiotics. With prebiotics that we have, that will reverse the harmful effects of intestinal dysbiosis. And now good beneficial bacteria will have started producing a lot of beneficial molecule for your body, for your health.
That's pretty impressive, Dr. Prasad. So the gut is important. I know that there's some researchers.
Very important, because if the gut is not happy, your brain is not.
It can't be happy. The brain cannot be happy.
No, and so it is so important, and it has been demonstrated that clinically and otherwise.
I know that they said that there was one scientist that figured out that there's a fingerprint of bacteria. It has a unique signature for every disease. So it would stand to reason that if we want to make sure that we reduce disease, get the gut correct.
Yeah.
So, and this is more about the same thing you mentioned before about the brain and beta amyloids. Yeah. Tell us about the brain boost here.
Yeah, brain boost is very important because the brain uses a oxygen. 20% of the air that you breathe, the brain uses the oxygen, very high level. And whenever you use oxygen, the free radicals are produced as a byproduct. So much so, oxygen mitochondria take that 2% of unused oxygen leaks out of mitochondria and produce additional amount of free radicals.
Ooh.
Under this condition, you'd have thought that nature would have provided a higher level of antioxidant to defend against free radicals.
Mm-hmm.
Opposite is true. Brain has the lowest level of antioxidant than any other organ, and therefore they suffer daily. And
Oh my
that's why
goodness.
after the age of 20, 1% of neuron are lost every 5 years or 10 years.
Oh
But
wow.
so, so that is normal loss. So the question is that how how do you do that? What you do to improve it? So Brain Boost that we develop has a two additional antioxidant. We have to provide some additional antioxidant, resveratrol, curcumin. That's very good. Resveratrol will increase the number of more mitochondria. If you have number of more mitochondria, then extra oxygen can be used to generate energy. And so that is very important. And so we added it too. Then if you have a lot of mitochondria there, then you have to provide some substrate so that they can use to produce energy. So we added an additional amount of coenzyme Q10 and also vitamin B3. These are required by mitochondria to make energy.
Wow.
And we also added it to the membrane precursor phosphodietyl and phosphodietyl. These are precursor of the membrane. And as you know, in the brain, membrane are very easily damaged by free radicals. So if they are damaged, then we can replace with the new membrane, formation of new membrane. So this way that we have prepared the brain boost, they will improve the brain function by providing this kind of support.
Wow. So we're talking about antioxidant protection, but Dr. Prasad, what sounds to me like you just said this is brain food.
Yeah.
So folks, listen, this is not just brain boost, this is brain food. So just keep that in mind. You want to feed neurons. This is the stuff you want to get. I take two of these in the morning. Sometime I need another one around noon. I take two in the evening. So I'm taking about 5 of these a day now, Dr. Prasad.
Yeah. But I mean, again, all these are very non-toxic, and and they don't interact anything.
Well, I take them like it's going out of style. So you put them in a little. If you put them in a little tic tac, if you put them in a little tic tac dispenser, I'd be popping them all day long.
Yeah. I mean, that's very harmless. And so, but brain boost is very, very important.
Wow, impressive. So tell us a little bit, just to wrap up our discussion, tell us about the CBD, because this is in the title of your paper, Dr. Prasad, cannabidiol.
What happens in advanced stage of the Alzheimer disease, the patient starts showing abnormal behavior, anxiety, depression, apathy, aggression, agitation, sleep disturbances, and psychosis, hallucination, delusions. These are very bad things to do. Current use of drug is Prozac and Zoloft, but they have adverse side effects. So CBD is the only agent. For example, Prozac and Zoloft act as a inhibitor of serotonin reuptake. So the serotonin level is high, then you feel calm and quiet. But it has toxicity, both Prozac and Zoloft. But CBD does exactly the same thing. It acts as an inhibitor of serotonin reuptake, but has no toxicity. Furthermore, it has an additional benefit. CBD also stimulates the production of a new serotonin in the cell. So it has a double advantage. So your serotonin level remain high for a longer period of time. This is very important. In addition to that no other Prozac or Zoloft cannot do that. It increases the dopamine level slightly. And when you have a high dopamine level, you feel happy, relaxed. Very important.
Wow.
And equally important function of CBD is that it prevents the release of glutamate. And glutamate is the chemical which causes a lot of hyperactivity. And so it has so important function.
Wow, that's impressive, Dr. Prasad. So the most common question we get about this is, what about the THC?
No, it has no THC. It is highly purified, and David Namelka has made sure that it is purified and third-party tested. It has no THC, and therefore it has no addictive behavior or addictive function.
And you also source this not from marijuana, but from the hemp plant?
Hemp plant, because see, marijuana plant has 20% THC. Hemp
Okay.
plant has only 0.3%.
0.3%
THC. So it is easy to isolate them. And it is very important to use the highly purified CBD. Sometimes people use CBD oil, which other junk and may not be as effective. And so I think we use the highly purified CBD, and they have shown, as you see, remarkable effects.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the results are staggering. And
not only in Alzheimer's disease, but some people have young people have say, depression, anxiety for college, in a college level, and whatever studying, relationship. Anytime you have a depressed or anxiety and depression, CBD is the only one, non-toxic one you can take it.
Well, that's pretty impressive. And so folks understanding that this is not just a CBD, and you can see some of the CBDs on the market. I know this because I was actually in that business for a while. They have CBG, CBA, and some of them they brag about being full spectrum CBD, but that's bad.
Yeah.
So you've isolated the most important part of the CBD. So really, this is more like a CBD concentrate.
Concentrate, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. That's why I'm going to stick with this one. No doubt about it. So, Dr. Prasad, we're going to pick this discussion up again.
Okay.
Maybe next week and do part 2, because I know there's a whole lot more that you could share with us on this. I know this because I saw your slides was just.
Yeah, we did not discuss how to improve the treatment.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll hit the treatment aspect of it.
Yeah. Right.
Next month. I think we can we can slide a date in there for next month. Okay. So that'll be the treatment aspect of it. So there you have it, folks. Thank you very much, Dr. Prasad. I'm just going to do a little housekeeping here and just tell folks a little bit about your products and and how they can get them. Okay. And a little bit more about the ingredients. And folks, look here quickly. You can always freeze this screen, but we're looking at the ingredients on Dr. Prasad's panel product, Microdaily EMF. This is the most advanced formula he's produced. And it may not appear to be much different from many other multivitamins, but it's far different. It's way different because Dr. Prasad put the formula together, number one. And remember, he's focused in not only on free radicals, reducing oxidative stress, but also simultaneously battling against inflammation at the same time. And on top of that, he's raising lymphocytic glutathione levels.
Another thing that is very important in microdaily EMF, because right now EMF radiation, electromagnetic field radiation, which is coming from computer, your cell phone, Wi-Fi, and so on, is producing a lot of harmful effect. And people don't realize, few people about, they have an extreme sensitivity, and one of the person we know here is Dr. Court. He's very sensitive. And 2 or 3% of American population have so much sensitivity that they can't function. And so EMF radiation, and the reason they do it, EMF radiation, it also produces free radicals. But what it does that other ionizing radiation does not do it, is that it produces vibration of the charged particles in your body. And if that molecule is vibrating, they become very sensitive to damage. But what antioxidant microdaily that we have, they donate electron to positively charged particles in your body and becomes neutral. so neutron, then they can vibrate it. And so that's why sometimes you have a quick brain problem. And as soon as Dr. Court, for example, it takes micro daily EMF, it goes away. So it
Wow.
not only produces all those things that we mentioned, it also reduces the harmful effect of electromagnetic radiation, and you can't get away from there. You can't take away from the kids. You
That's
can't.
right.
And so that's why it's very important that kids should have also these days you can't take away their cell phone, but
No.
they can take for example, kids formula that we develop, you know,
In the gummies. Uh-huh.
gummy, yeah.
Wow.
So,
That's
so that
pretty,
can also reduce not only good health, but when they are being exposed to daily EMF radiation, then that will help to reduce it.
and I think I don't have a slide here showing the gummies, and but I think we'll show that in the
Gummy has the
future.
same principle, same ingredients as this one,
Hmm.
except low dose, which is pertinent to kids.
Yeah, yeah, perfect for kids. And so parents should know that.
Yeah,
Dr. Prasad already told us about the probiotic daily. So there's a close picture of it and the ingredients panel.
and peptides.
Here's
Yeah.
the collagen peptide Dr. Prasad told us about with the ingredients panel. And remember, this has enzyme inhibitors
Yes.
in it. And omega-3, Dr. Prasad, this is good for the brain too.
It is
I
very important to remember because what happens, omega-3, if your body has a high oxidative stress, omega-3 is easily oxidized and become dysfunctional.
mm,
So in your body, if you have older people and high level, you are not taking anything, omega-3 becomes dysfunctional. And it is so important for both brain and a heart function. Brain, 40% of fatty acid in the brain is DHA. So if they are oxidized and not functioning well, your brain will not function well. So it is very important to supplement with omega-3 that can replace the dysfunctional omega-3 in your brain.
that's pretty impressive. I'm looking at an image here uh, on the live stream and trying to. Oh, I see what it is. I think it's just lagging behind. Well, that's pretty clear. Good for inflammation. I'm still noticing once again every time I have a flare up with my back. When I take a couple of your omega-3, the pain in my lumbar and my number L4 and L5 is where I have the problem.
Yeah.
It keeps it under control, Dr. Prasad. So I'm still taking about 8 of these a day, 2 every few hours or
Again,
so.
it is non-toxic. It is fatty acid that your body does not produce it. So
Yeah.
and they get destroyed. So you need a omega-3.
Well, yesterday I was moving some things, clearing out my garage, and picking up some boxes and stuff that I know I shouldn't have been picking up. And my back should be on fire. But the little bit of inflammation I felt right away was just taken care of.
Yeah.
So I will not run out of your product, Dr. Prasad. I will not run out of it.
Yeah.
So for Alzheimer's Awareness Month, folks, this is the package that you want to concentrate on. So get a subscription to this package right here, and you can always add things to it. You can modify it if you want to. If you don't like the the EMF capsules, you can go with the EMF Hydro.
Exactly.
If you prefer one of the other micro daily products, it's fine. You can do that. But this is the package that you want to get. And remember, we talked about this before at the beginning. We always have to just make sure. I want to remind people about the disclaimer. We're not making any medical claims, but a couple more products Dr. Prasad formulated that specifically benefits seniors is a digestive boost for improved digestive enzymes and sleep boost. Oh my God, this is just wonderful, Dr. Prasad.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm taking that thing too every single night, along with the CBD, by the way.
Yeah.
So as far as the Core 4 is concerned, folks, this is the bundle right here. The price is $206, and the retail cost will be over $300, $302 if you bought each item separately, individually. But Engage Global is subsidizing your health, and they've actually brought this below the wholesale price. The wholesale price would be about $240, $250.
Yeah.
But on a bundle, you can get it for $206, $205.99. So this is the way to go. So you just try it for 90 days. So Dr. Prasad, why is 90 days important?
Because most of the clinical study has been tried. They take it 90 days to evaluate the benefit. So I think, some people can get benefit in 30 days, some people
Yep.
60 days, but 90 days is the maximum that you will see the benefit, optimal benefit.
All right. So if they haven't seen any results after 90 days, then the problem might be far more extensive
Yeah,
than this can take care of. So, but this one right here would be the very minimum that you'd want to do, folks.
yeah.
If you can't afford the core 4,
yeah,
this is what Dr. Prasad recommends as the minimum that you'd want to do. So, and I think the price went up a little bit. It may be about 112 or so. But this is it. This is the basic bundle. So that's what you would want to talk to the person who invited you. So just get back with the person who invited you to this discussion, and they will help you to select the bundle that's best for you. They'll help you to figure out what you need to do and the best way for you to get it.
yeah.
And next week you can look forward to. Well, Dr. Prasad, now we just told you that we're going to be talking about part 2 of this Alzheimer's next month, but next week on Sunday, Jeff Ashby, an ambassador, the only ambassador for Engage Global, will be having a conversation with David Nemelka. And David Nemelka is the owner and CEO of Engage Global. This is the one that's subsidizing your health. So he's partnered with Dr. Prasad to make this man's formulas reach the masses. So you'll hear the incredible story discussed right from the horse's mouth next week. So make sure that you're here for that. And Dr. Prasad will probably be here too. You think you're going to be here also, Dr. Prasad?
Oh, yeah, I will be there. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you get a chance to get everybody all at the same time next week's discussion. So we got just another minute or two here where we can take maybe a question or two. Alfreda's got a comment.
Sure.
So 30 seconds or less.
Okay.
Hey, hi, Dr. Prasad. I'm so glad to see you're doing better. And I was watching my great-grandchild yesterday, and he's a breastfed baby, and he's only 2 months old. I ran out of the breast milk, and he started to get agitated. And so the only thing I knew to give him was microdaily powder. And so I put that like a half a packet in a little bit of water and gave it to him. And within a few minutes, he really started to calm down and started smiling and giggling at me again. So this product is safe is safe even for infants, newborn babies.
I can't believe it.
Wow, Dr. Prasad, still on breast milk.
I mean, when you're that situation desperate, you have
Yeah,
no
he
you have to try to take a chance,
he likes to fight when he's hungry. So,
Yeah.
but he got totally happy, and he's only 2 months old.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, 2 months old. He was hangry. He benefited from Dr. Prasad's from the Rio Seco. Please go ahead, Rio Seco. We can't see you, but you can go ahead and unmute. Oh, wait, Rio's coming to
Hi,
coming to the
Ed
floor.
Howard. Sorry, I didn't change the name
Oh, that's
there.
Ed Howard. Okay, 30 seconds or less,
Yeah.
Ed.
Yeah, okay. Dr. Prasad, a really nice presentation, Jonathan. Actually, with people who have this range of Alzheimer issues and starting to get problem with actions, really the core 4 plus the brain and the CBD would be the suggestion on that, you think?
Yeah, I think that would be perfect.
Yeah, good. Okay. And what role does the eye boost is technically for the retina and that type of health, but would it also help with the brain problem with the Alzheimer's?
No, Alzheimer people doesn't have a retina problem, but the sleeping boost is good for if you have a sleeping issue or eye issue really, because astaxanthin that we have added it, it accumulates in the retina part of the eye, which is very important. And retina part of the eye is highly oxygenated, and therefore they have produced a lot of free radicals. So you need a very powerful antioxidant, and astaxanthin satisfied that need. because also lutein zeaxanthin is there, but not in sufficient amount. But for some reason, astaxanthin accumulates at a much higher level near retina than lutein or zeaxanthin. So it is already to take it if they want to take it, but that has no direct impact on the disease of Alzheimer.
That's wonderful. I think he froze up in the high altitude there, but I think we got the whole point of it.
Yeah.
Dr. Prasad, we can't thank you enough, sir, for your willingness to share and to prop yourself up even when you're injured. It's clear to us that you have a passion, a love for knowledge, and a love for people, because your formulas are making a phenomenal impact on so many people's lives. We cannot thank you enough, sir, for what you've done. So everybody want to unmute, please feel free to do so now if you'd like to say goodbye to Dr. Prasad.
Thank you both. So glad you're better. We love you.
Thank you, Dr. Prasad.
Thank
You
you,
feel
Dr.
better.
Prasad.
Thank you so much, Dr. Prasad.
Thank you,
I'm
Dr.
so
Prasad.
glad to see you.
Amazing.
So happy that you're doing better.